His footsteps trail off into the distance, and I'm again left alone in silence. The sun is beginning to set over the mountains, and I feel a chill rush over my body. My clothes are damp and cold, so I had to take off the bulk of them. It's better to wear as little clothing as possible when we're wet like this. I pick up my coat and hang it on the bars of the cell door. After spreading it out to dry more easily? Oh, I sit down on my bed and lean back. Staring at the ceiling, I try to concentrate and gather myself. Soon, everything fades into nothing. Would you like to look at a Winamp visualizer? Then the swirling colors flow into my vision. The ground ripples beneath my feet like a rushing current. Tigran, however, is nowhere to be found. Can you come out? I'm gay. I'd rather talk to you face to face. Ah! Jesus.
Yay!
Not even a fade-in. The large chimera god appears before me with a shimmering flash. The bright green flames dance off their fur and float up into the air.
You don't trust the bird?
You told me not to.
Yeah, you told me. You told me. Wait. I don't trust anyone right now. That's a bad plan.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 people you should be trusting. Maybe 3. Probably the king's advisor. Not with this, at least. I was going to tell Lyle, but that won't be happening anytime soon. They make a reassuring gesture with their hand.
I, for one, believe that you are wise to not trust anyone with this. For now, it is best to keep it to yourself.
You think he suspects it? Oop. You think he suspects it anyway?
I know whether he suspects it or not. But for your amusement, I'll pretend I have no outside knowledge. I think he might suspect you're my avatar.
That's the conversation we had.
Yeah, but it's also like, I thought you weren't allowed to say anything. It's like giving any answer is just confusing at this point, because you're like, is that a fake answer? Because you're supposed to not give me answers, or... Huh. Does it feel weird to have armpit hair on top of your shoulders?
I think they gotta go somewhere.
It's just such a bush.
It's definitely, I look at this and it's like, I relate to the impossible anatomical complexity of trying to draw something with multiple arms. It doesn't work. Like he should have 6 rows of pecs.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Like, the 6-pack, it becomes even more uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to give him long bod.
Like, I know I'm in good company. I know we all love the titty,
every pair of arms. Yeah, that's why you give him 6 titty.
Come on, unfold those arms. Let's see them.
Hop on the titty peed.
Oh God. No.
I can't be the only one from like old furry that remembers that there was this one guy that just kept drawing. He kept commissioning people to do multi-tar. Like he had like a long dragon. And he just kept commissioning people to do longer and longer versions where the centaur part of the body would be like 20 bodies long.
Like every single segment is drawn by a different artist?
No, like, you know where the centaur, the human body comes out of like the horse body?
Yeah.
Like the neck? It would just be like, there's the neck part of like the dragon body, but it would just be another body coming out of that, just over and over again. Just like 20 quadrupedal dragon bodies, and then at the very, very, very front, finally one humanoid dragon body, and it'd be like this huge multi-tar. And it almost seemed to be like a dare, like who he could pay to
a dare.
Who could he get to agree to draw this and pay them to draw what's functioning like 30 bodies sometimes, and who even knows what they would charge for the math at that point. Furries get weird. It's fun. I feel like when it wasn't algorithm based like Twitter and stuff, when you had to browse on FA and everything, you were much more likely to have like a more even distribution of strange like genres and fixations and stuff.
For sure.
Like you'd browse and you find a guy whose entire fur affinity is just pictures of real life trains and stuff like that. Let's see. They say this like they're walking on eggshells. So he does. He does a deep rumbling sigh. It says he.
He said he. Get some rest. You've done enough practice for today.
Was he right about the persecutions and all that?
You have the ability to find that out yourself. He just told me to Google it.
Yeah. Let me Google that for you.
But you'll have to try later. Please try to sleep. You need the energy.
Fine. Tell me to do my own research? Fine. Time to go down the conspiracy hole. Oh no, all my research is AI generated images. You can't tell people to Google stuff anymore. That's the world we live in. I think the last time I was like being a smartass, I was gonna send somebody the lmgtfy.com link for a topic. I looked at the results for it and was like, oh, these are not true. I can't even sarcastically let me Google this for you because it will bring misinformation up instead. Google's completely fucked.
Google sucks now.
Leaving is much easier than when I arrived, and before I know it, I'm back in the cell. I laid down onto the bed and spread out, gathering the rest of my body as close to myself as possible to keep warm. That's not... Those mean the opposite of each other. Spreading out and gathering yourself up to be warm.
Just word vomit.
Yeah. It could do with the revision in general, because I just notice a lot of sentences are always two parts. There's the first half and the second half. Like, it's a really consistent style throughout the writing. And sometimes the two halves contradict each other, but it's almost worse when the two halves just repeat the same thing, which also happens fairly often.
I do this exact thing in my own writing, and I notice it, and it does bug me. I don't know, there's probably like a grammatical, like some English major could tell me because the sentence we're looking at right now is doing the same thing, where it's closing my eyes, I go into a deep sleep, thinking about all the things I've seen, like the like in progress verb that does the second like half sentence. And you just always like kind of graft together two ideas this way. And I don't know, it feels nice to write longer sentences, I guess. It's just the only kind of motivation there.
Closing my eyes, my exhausted body relaxes and I drift into a deep sleep, thinking about all the things I've seen in past memories today.
I could eat.
Seen a bit. Hopefully they'll be of some use. I just need to practice.
Gaslight or like just abuse Adrian. It's like, yeah, I remember that time you played hide and seek with your mom.
We just bully him over his childhood and all of his most embarrassing
your
memories.
Mom was so sweet.
Remember that time you thought the door was locked and then it wasn't?
Bedwetting until you're 13. 13, Adrian. Like, just getting with Matt, and he just immediately turns around like, fuck this, I'm out.
Remember that time you got your antlers stuck in the school bars and everyone just laughed at you and you couldn't get down?
Oh my god.
I love the idea. That's such like a fan canon comic.
Like, I've never told anyone that before.
It's just Richter bullying Adris over a bunch of embarrassing childhood.
Adrius, but it's the tails gets trolled face.
I'm sure that's in his server.
that illustration would be incredible. Jesus
I might have to do
Christ.
that.
Oh my god. Quick, you gotta get it done before this ever goes public and people know the joke's coming.
Now I gotta go in the Lyre server. Where is it?
It'll be on Patreon in a few weeks, but it'll be months probably before it goes public. Jesus.
We do. He does not have that.
Chapter 9, day 28. No sane VN creator should have a server for it.
Well, this is one of the stickers in his server.
I thought you meant they don't have a server at all.
No, he has a server.
Let's see, I'll go look at the sticker. Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Tab out of it. Oh
It's
my
the,
god.
It's the add. No, that's not. It's not the.
That became such a
what is it?
meme. Yeah.
It's a chemical thing. It's like you'll die. He's gonna die basically.
Okay.
It's supposed to be really dangerous, but I don't totally remember what it is.
I know, like for his meme on, it's like 800 gajillion calories if you eat it.
I don't know if that's even part of the problem.
Oh, it's fine.
Listeners, we're not going to describe what we're seeing. You just have to guess. It makes it a lot more fun that way.
It appears to be an otter that I assume is at Mac doing like the ball and cup game where you like have a stick that you like try to like shake. So you try to swing it so that like the ball on the end of the rope lands in like the cup or whatever. But instead it's like that one like metal half dome thing that goes on the other metal ball and it like, I don't know, kills you with radiation or something. I don't know. Actually,
it is like literally. It is literally like a radiation thing.
I looked it up and found a picture of it, and there's just a Reddit thread that says, "I don't get it."
Yeah, I was like, is that the Chernobyl? Is that that kind of thing?
No, that's not the elephant's foot.
The edited form shows the cup and ball being replaced by two halves of what is known as the demon core.
That's the demon core.
There you go.
Everybody, just Google that because this post goes on for like a page, but that ought to get you somewhere.
Yeah,
I think it's fun to leave it at just the demon core. Yeah. I don't want to know what the demon core is, but that's badass.
It's a shame that nobody ever wants to talk about the ATMAC exclusion zone. It doesn't feel like I got as much sleep as I'd hoped. As I slowly wake up, I slide my legs off the gritty stone bench. The cold floor and the cell sends a shock through my body, but I'm too exhausted to jolt up from my relaxed position. One would think that I would be used to this by now, but I don't think I'll ever get used to it. You think that a lot. I'm getting used to you thinking that. Waking up like this isn't normal for me at all, and will definitely take some getting used to. It could definitely be worse, though. I'm positive that it's way colder out there than it is in here. It's weird waking up and not hearing birds chirping or anything like that. There's almost no noise outside the window. It's hard to get used to. The wind is absent and I can't hear any of the trees rustling. I pay close attention. I can hear a little bit of commotion coming from the city, but that I'm used to. Everyone must be doing their daily routine. I imagine Eden is getting ready for the day and making a racket, getting all his commissions prepared. Charlotte is probably getting her day started at the bakery too, prepping all kinds of food. John is most likely learning more things from her about the trade, or just making sure the kitchen doesn't fall apart. Thinking about this causes my stomach to twist and shrink. I'm surprised I even remember their names. I've only been outside twice. I only met and talked with them for a few minutes. Usually I forget someone's name the second they tell me it, but this is different. Because in this world, everyone's a furry. Here in Lyre, everyone is so much more interesting and unique. It's odd taxi syndrome. Everyone feels like another face in the crowd. Nobody feels like another face in the crowd. I guess it's just because I'm not used to living here. I sit up and slouch. He's used to again, by the way. Sit up and slouch over, staring at the floor. My reflection stares back at me and I sigh. I wonder what they think of me now. They probably believe I really did kill the king. I feel awful if I had to look them in the face again. Visions of those nobles staring at me with disgusted faces on the winter solstice suddenly invade my mind. Too many people here hide behind a smile. I can't say the same for the villagers in the city, but I feel more comfortable around them. Even if I enjoy what I do, I feel like I'm constantly around the wrong crowd. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to just walk away from all of it. Go live somewhere nice and quiet among people who are simple and kind. I don't really know what I would do, but being away from all this would be enough for me. I do feel like they're doing it again where they keep reestablishing that people are fake, but not featuring any fake people. Like
my mind was also immediately going to the, like, this is not a Richter that sees all of this like a game that he plays to get to a higher. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like he literally, so it's like a poem in 2 parts or whatever. It's a part 1. I remember everyone's horrible expressions at me, their judgment. Part 2, everyone hides behind a smile. I'm like, that's not what you just described. In fact, you've never just shown evidence of everyone hiding behind a smile, honestly. Mainly because he just doesn't interact with the nobles ever in the story, besides Atreus, and he doesn't hide shit. I definitely want to get out more. Probably take early walks in the crisp morning air.
Richter.
Their voice causes me to jump a bit, and my body leans back against the wall in a stiff manner. I really wish you wouldn't scare me like that.
Sorry, I was getting tired of listening to you ramble.
I wish it was...
God says, you're really annoying, by the way.
I really hate the fact that they can hear everything I think, but I've slowly realized there's no use in complaining. I wish they just shared the same sentiment. You should get used to it. Bam! Take a shot!
Damn! Get him! Believe me, I thought I was.
Their snarky tone makes me roll my eyes in a tired way, which is something I hope they see. I just want to... A fun experiment would be to open the transcript of this video, because YouTube makes transcripts, and control the phrase... Control F the phrase used to it, and see how many iterations there are in this video so far.
You do that in Renpy.
Yeah, but that'd be the whole game.
On it.
Oh, I guess yeah. Oh, God.
I just mean, like, there's been a density of it, this specific session, between the, him being
it's his comfort phrase.
Yeah, because he was in the queen's body, and then he has to get used to the cell, and now Tiger has to get used to them. Like, it's been going up a bit. I hear them chide me in a deep voice.
You should really start practicing. Oh, now we gotta practice? I thought we were practicing too much.
The thought of practicing using the mind's eye makes me wish I could go back to sleep, even on this hard bed. I just woke up. Could you give me a minute?
Right, of course.
As taxing as it is, practicing with the mind's eye is one of the few ways I can cure boredom while I'm in this cell. And here, I can use it as a form of escapism. Nearly literal. I can go all these different places and have all these different experiences. I can't really allow myself to get too carried away with it though. I have to remember my main goal. I have to practice so that I can be strong enough to see into the more recent past. I need to use it to see who killed Raynar.
Just gotta go to Lyle and be like, wait, give me 15 years, and then I can tell you who did it really easily.
Just let me do it. Hang on a minute. Just need a minute. It seems impossible given that the trial could come out of nowhere. Not only that, but just knowing who the killer is won't save me. I need to use that knowledge to prove my innocence. Most importantly, I need to use it to prove who did it and have them face justice. I just don't think this is this kind of like setting with kings and whatnot is that type of place where trials were fair to begin with. So I don't think
they just kill you and be like, oh, you were in the scene of the crime.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be given the chance to be like, Phoenix Wright, objection! And like, yes, I'll allow this, me, the person who probably killed him. I'll just let him present evidence against me. Like, in front of who? Who is he even allowing to watch the trial? I'll need time to think and figure it out. Relay information to people that can help. I can't do all of this the day before the trial. I'm just thinking about like Ned Stark, like all the incriminating evidence against Cersei and Joffrey and so on, and then being like, Yes, we'll let him speak.
Yeah.
If only I could see Lyle. He would be so much help with that. I stand up from my sitting position and begin to pace around the cell, careful to step on dry ground. Now that I think about it, I've been practicing a lot. Maybe I could try figuring out who killed Raynar. There's no harm in trying, I guess.
Wrong.
Jericho, no.
I'm sorry.
Survive for exactly 60 more minutes. We can recast you. Jericho, survive. We need you for the room. Oh no. You need to go get water?
No, I'll be fine.
Another abrupt word from Tigran causes me to stop in my tracks.
There is a severe amount of harm in trying.
How? I'm going to have to try eventually, aren't I?
You just need to trust me. You aren't ready yet. Something like that takes a lot of practice, skill, and focus. With luck, you'll be able to get that point in time. But until then, you need to start smaller.
Hearing them say all this angers me slightly. I've trusted them so far, but I always have this feeling in the back of my head that they're hiding something from me. Because they told you that that's what they're doing. They probably know this is how I feel, but I'm not going to bring it up with them. I mean, doesn't Tigran literally know who did it and they just can't tell us?
Well, also, like, you feeling it, they can tell. You can't keep anything from them.
That's also true. There is no such thing as not bringing it up. The fact that they can't tell me everything makes me even angrier. It doesn't seem right. I let out a sigh of defeat. Fine. I'll trust you, but you better not give me a reason not to.
I can try.
Yes, threaten the deity. This will go well.
Also, what are you gonna do about it, bitch boy?
You can't even...
I'm already in your head.
Yeah. I sit down on the floor, crossing my legs and slouching over. They always have to have the last word, I guess.
I was born to play this character.
I've been studying for this role my entire life. Staring into one of the puddles, I can see the reflection of the window. Dim sunlight shines into the room, giving everything a chilling glow. Is there anything in particular I should start with?
That's your choice, but I would try to be a bit more imaginative.
Unhelpful.
Lately, your visions have been a bit too personal. They've also been based off of recent experiences or confrontations.
And there's something wrong with that?
Somewhat. You need to truly try and test your boundaries. Reach out beyond the horizon and take hold of a memory or feeling. It could be an experience you've always wanted to have, or something lived by someone you met long ago. Something near and dear to your heart.
Isn't... That last suggestion feels like you're just saying to do the thing he was already doing that you're telling him not to do.
Yep.
They pause to take a breath.
Or something new.
Just voips his brain out and just like... just lands in Ad Astra.
Visions like this, they're like fuel for my avatars.
I press my finger into the dirt of the floor and draw a line. Is there a reason why that happens?
It just helps.
I wipe the dirt off my finger and lean back. Okay, I'll try. I feel a warmth run through my body as I relax and concentrate. I try to think about home. The sunny days and tall white towers. The rolling hills by the cliffs and sandy shores. Waves crashing against the stone walls of the docks. All the people who made an impact on my life. Memories of my past and the things I've done. Sitting in the chair by the window with my mother, just talking with her, watching this ship sail by. After a few seconds of closing my eyes and thinking about all of these things, I feel as if I'm pulled away from my own body. I get the sense that there's chaos all around me, yet for some reason my body can't feel a thing. I also feel like I'm floating. Or, it's what I think it would feel like. It's truly indescribable, but I described it as floating. That feeling quickly fades as if I'm thrown into a perilous scene. Monkey.
What the?
There's monkey men's. And they can tail grip. A flash of lightning obscures my vision for a moment as everything unfolds. Heavy rain swirls around me as the sound of harsh wind drowns my senses. It looks like I'm spectating the scene of a ship at sea, surrounded by a terrible storm. Waves crash into the sides of the small ship, and sailors clamor around the deck. Some of them are being thrown all over the place by waves, crashing onto the surface and flooding over the sides. Most of the sails have been rolled up as well. The ship looks old, too. Yeah, it's nothing like the ones I see coming in and out of the harbor in Erin. It looks almost archaic. However, my body seems to be tethered to a single sailor. He's a monkey with light fur that looks like it's been bleached by the sun. His skin is dark pink color too. He's swinging around one of the ropes tied to a mast, looking around at everything going on around him. His eyes are bright, as golden as the sun, maybe even golden sun too. I'm not really sure what's going on or what I'm witnessing, but I get this feeling that I can't look away. His tail curls tightly around the rope as his eyes dart ahead into the eye of the storm. He's panting heavily and keeps looking around at what's going on with worry in his eyes. There's a coiled rope being held by his foot. I always thought it was cool that monkeys could do that so well. Lightning strikes again, and the boom echoes throughout the ship, throughout the deep abyss of the open sea, casting a bright light among the clouds and across the rolling surface of the ocean. One of the sailors below yells up toward the mast.
Alberton! Get down from there, it's not safe!
The monkey looks down at him and yells back in a bellowing voice.
It's my job! I'm taking this. I don't have any other characters in this build. Well, thank me if you go overboard.
He gestures to the rope being held by his foot. Yeah, you've been banished from this Let's Play by the narrative.
Pretty much.
Dear Twink said no more.
Just keep her going steady and make sure you don't lose track of the eye. Aye, we've got that covered.
A wave washes over the side and the sailor staggers a bit, but it keeps a hold of the railing. Another sailor yells out among the crew.
We should have never listened to you, you know.
Gotta distinct them somehow.
You wish to ring the bells, do you?
I did basically just go Monty Python.
It's not safe to go this far out from home. We should have never left the shores.
Alverton looks down with an annoyed face.
Save the lecture for when we're in the clear, would you? I really didn't expect a monkey to have a bellowing voice. I'm kind of like trying to pair these things in my mind. You kind of always expect it to be like
you think a monkey screeches.
It'll be worth it in the end with the hull we've made. As far as I know, that hull you speak of probably fell overboard not too long ago. And I don't feel like joining it.
Alverton tightens his grip on the rope and looks ahead with a determined gaze.
Just a bit further.
I don't know how much more he can tighten his grip when he's already holding onto it from in the air.
With 3 different limbs.
Yeah. I guess he could hold onto it 5 times. 6 if you count biting it. He says this to himself, making it hard for me to hear. Aren't you him? Can you...
Yeah, I feel like you probably, if you really pick apart these scenes, you can probably find some problematic changes of perspective.
I float around him a bit more, not really having control of the direction I'm going, but staying within a general distance of his figure. I thought these visions were in first person.
Yeah, that's what they were before. I guess in this case, it is like... I don't know, that does seem like you just kind of nearly wrote yourself into a... I guess, maybe that's... I guess maybe they'll explain that, but it does just... As soon as you said that, I realized, like, oh yeah, you would just have to have like a shitty like person down on the deck, like looking up at him if it wasn't this.
Yeah,
or just
it's
him,
a little
but not be able to
confusing
see
that
him.
every vision so far was in first person, including all the way since the confusing one where he like runs down the hallway and gets attacked maybe or something and has no idea what that vision was of, all the way through being I don't remember if he ever was Adris actually, but he was Raynar and he was Elena. He keeps experiencing this specifically in first person to the point where it takes a moment to figure out who he is. But we're exclusively experiencing Albertson's, the store, Alberton from the outside. Maybe they'll do a mark on that, like, good, you unlocked third person view. That was an important milestone for solving Raynar's case. It's like I'm some sort of spirit. This is really weird. I thought I was supposed to experience these things from the perspective of others. That were at least okay. It's not by accident. At least. Why am I not in a body right now? Tigran told me to test my boundaries, but I'm not sure if this has anything to do with what's happening. All the visions I've willingly had so far have been about people I've had some experiences with. Yet I feel some sort of connection with this monkey, even though I don't know him. Could he be a sailor from Erin that I've run into before? It doesn't seem likely given how old his ship looks, but it's the only explanation I can come up with. I snap out of my thoughts and go back to focusing on the scene playing out before me. I don't know if he means the ship looks old as in age or era, you know what I mean? Like it's currently old or it's an old type of ship. Like those are different. It could be a new ship that's old. He grips a simple-looking necklace that's tied around his neck on a string. He can grip so many things. Then it happens. There's this moment where everything seems calm. The noise from the rain is muffled and the wind slows down slightly. A deafening boom claps all around me and my vision goes away in an instant. Did lightning just strike the ship? My hearing comes back after a second as wind whistles through my ears. I get this false feeling of dropping, like I'm being dragged down by a heavy object. Or maybe it's like I'm taking a dive through the air, chasing something. Then there's a heavy splash and a sudden decrease in speed. All noise is muffled, and it's almost eerily soothing, like closing a window on a rainy night. My eyes adjust the darkness and I can see little particles floating around me, like dust swirling through the air. The ocean. I'm under the water's surface. I get a glimpse of the monkey's figure off in the distance. Lighting in the sky above dimly illuminates the water around us, casting rays of light that beam down into the dark void beneath us. He's just floating there, his body completely still. The rope that was being gripped by his foot is gone. He probably lost the tide or still on the ship. I try to get closer to him, but I don't feel like I'm moving. I'm not liking where this is going. I can hear this ominous vibrating noise, like an earthquake but underwater. Ominous voices and noise echo around me. Fear creeps its way into my soul as I wait in darkness. Ooh. Be not afraid, my child. I jolt in my seated position, painfully throwing myself into the wall behind me, letting out a yelp.
What's going on in there?
A guard yells down the tunnel, sounding like he's pretty close. Nothing, I just slipped. Fine. There's a pause. Then he throws his voice down the tunnel again.
Just don't do it again.
like it's on purpose. Why yada? I hear his footsteps travel back up the corridor, and I stand up, resting my head near the window. Are you going to say something, or do I have to ask? I quickly whisper this under my breath in an annoyed tone. There's silence. It's a very long silence, and at first I think they didn't hear me. Then they speak up.
There are just some things that I'm not allowed to explain to you.
What the hell was that? Who was that? Why were you there? More silence. Look, I've been nice so far. I've been going along with all this, knowing that I could very well be in a lot of trouble. The least you could do is be truthful with me. This gets them to speak up.
I am being truthful with you.
It doesn't really feel like it. Richter, they explained the rules. I hear them take a deep breath.
Richter, please. I've already explained all of this before. I am held back from doing certain things. Saying certain things. It could cause a lot of trouble. It's not my place to give you knowledge, only the ability to seek it out yourself.
I grip one of the rusty iron bars in my fist, running my other hand down my face. It does lead to it gets you in a bit of a corner where then you're like, what do we do with Tigran then most of the time if they can't actually say or do anything? They're just kind of like reminding us they're here consistently while frustrating Richter. A little bit more facial hair prickles my hand than usual, reminding me how long I've gone without taking care of myself. I'll probably have a fully grown beard by the end of this.
You just need to trust me.
I grip the bars in the window harder. Really tired of hearing you say that. I have several reasons not to. Why? Are you gonna list them?
I mean, I guess just not, like, talking is a big one.
What I'm just thinking is what limb is Richter out on? Like, what trusting is he really doing? What is he risking with Tigran that you would call trust?
Right.
I don't really know. The only amount of trust we have is just taking them at their word that their rules exist about not helping it. But like, we're not risking anything. So it's like, it's just, I don't know what to go do with that exactly. Forgive me for being irrational, although I don't really see it that way. But you've been nothing but suspicious.
And you think I want to be?
I don't know, but none of this is working in your favor. That book Leaf brought down said people who have your power die. Is that going to happen to me? Eventually. Are you just going to escort me into an early grave?
No, I'm not.
Who's Alverton? More silence as they ignore my question and try to change the subject.
All will be revealed, I promise.
Is he a past avatar? Someone whose mind you invaded long ago?
You know that I can't answer that.
What are you doing here? What were you doing there? There's a deep silence. And more silence. Oh, a deep sigh and more silence. I'm falling apart a little bit, apparently. I really didn't want to believe it, but it feels like you're lying to me about something. Something really important. They don't answer. That's when I hear footsteps pacing down the tunnel. They're light and sturdy sounding, like they're walking very fast. I'm seeing I'm kind of seeing the appeal of why you leave a character like this mysterious and distant instead of having them be present all the time.
Light and sturdy.
I back away from the window and sit on the ground in front of the door, leaning my back against the rough wall. Talk about this later. I say this under my breath so that whoever is coming doesn't hear me.
Okay, so we do speak all this out loud.
I was thinking about that, because he's having like a whole argument, but he's also...
I was gonna say, we slip and somebody outside hears us, but we've just been talking to ourselves this whole time.
You almost need just like to have access to like the Richter italicized mind thoughts. Like
Right.
Axe from Animorphs. Animorphs mentioned number 2 of this episode. Let's go. It's a tough game I play, talking with Tigrin while I have no privacy. Gars can't really hear my hushed whispers from here, though, so it works for now.
Okay.
I could speak with them in my mind, but it takes a lot of getting used to. Hey! Don't die.
Dying.
The footsteps get closer, and I can't help but feel a little anxious. Hopefully it's not Adrius again, down here to patronize me even more than he already has. You should be able to tell who it is, honestly. Everyone has unique feet.
Yeah.
It's either that lady's shoes, or it's Lyle's foot paw pads, which is not allowed to be, or it's Leaf's talons, or Adrius's hooves. Extremely distinct feet in this roster, actually, like almost
Pretty much.
by design. The repetitive noise doesn't sound like his hooves, though. It's a sound I'm all too familiar with. Used to, you might say. The sound of someone wearing shoes. The steps slow to a casual walk, and then she comes into view. That's who I figured it'd be when they said they sounded light and sturdy. I'm like, ah. Liz stands there in front of the cell door, looking at me. She has this face that looks like she's trying to find what to say.
You look a lot better than I thought you would.
Thanks. Thanks.
Sorry. Just the way Prince Adrius described you, he exaggerated a bit.
He said you had purple eyes, though? King Adrius.
Yes.
It's like a subtle hint at everyone's loyalties. And how is our new king? My tone comes out a bit more dry than I wanted it to. She gives me a perplexed look. I can't tell if she's surprised I'm showing any hint of concern, or if she's shocked I have the gall to mock him in front of her.
He's obviously distraught and finding his own way to cope with it. That's the thing. It's like he's still a prince. Nothing's really changed yet.
Yet. She throws her head back in an exhausted manner and runs her hands through her auburn hair.
Why am I talking about this with you? I don't even know you, and you're suspected of killing our king.
Did you sleepwalk her here? You came here on purpose.
Yeah.
She leans back against the wall and looks down. I know that Lyle tried to convince you that I didn't do it. He also said that you even considered it.
What of it?
Well, for the record, I didn't do it. She cocks an eyebrow at that remark. Why would you believe me? She throws her hands to her sides and looks at me incredulously.
I don't believe you. I believe Lyle. He's extremely loyal to this kingdom, and I know that he would never betray it. Even if he let his feelings get in the way.
Okay.
So if he trusts you, then that gives me reason to at least consider it a possibility.
Well, it's very nice to hear. Sadly, I don't think it will help me. She lowers her head and exhales. Why have you come down here? Richter's prickly.
I was gonna say.
It's like these are some of the only people that might be allies.
Yeah.
She slumps against the wall slightly. Admittedly, they're most of the named characters.
Mm-hmm. The first reason, I was curious. The whole situation seemed completely outlandish, and I had to see you for myself at least once before the trial.
What's the second reason? She lets out a sigh.
The trial.
Has a day already been decided?
Yes.
Can I call in sick?
The trial will take place 9 days from now.
9 days? I jolt up from my sitting position. The information hits me like an arrow through the back. No, no, no.
I know. Adrius wants it to happen at the earliest. This is just enough time for everything to be prepared, so it's quite literally happening as soon as possible. I'm really sorry, but I thought you should know.